All right, guys, a watch list for Friday, January 15th. Keep in mind the market, a lot of people don't realize this, market's closed Monday, so your 3-day weekend after tomorrow. Um, a really nice bounce in the SPY. We were expecting this. A lot of stocks sold off this morning, gave really, really nice reversals. Pretty solid close, and it bounced off of almost the September lows here, and who knows? Nice volume today, though. I mean, bigger volume than any day on the sell-off, it looks like, with the exception of this day, which had bounced afterwards. So anyway, we'll see if the bounce continues tomorrow. And let's go back to the drawing board. HTZ goes back on bounce watch. Remember, I had it on watch yesterday for a bounce today. It didn't give any kind of intraday entry, but even bigger volume today and a nice bottoming tail. That one might continue higher tomorrow. USG, kind of the same thing, bigger volume than yesterday and a little bit of a bottoming tail, so that one goes on bounce watch for tomorrow. NHTC, which had really big volume yesterday, I think today kind of a quiet, little bit lower volume inside day. A lot of times you get a big push like this, you get a day of rest, and then the third day it bounces again, so I want to watch that one. FXCM, let me zoom in to take that big gap out of there. All right, so FXCM, had this huge move from 5 to almost 25, which is insane, right? But then 4 sessions ago, it had a range. It went from a low of 12.18 all the way to 17.49, and then even higher the next morning. So that is a huge move, and now we are 2 days lower, getting more quiet again. This is a good setup back down near where it bounced from last time, and a fairly narrow range. This is a good setup for another little short squeeze. So I want to watch, and sitting right at the 20 day, I want to watch FXCM. Man, when that thing moves, it really moves. Solar City, just SCTY, just getting ahead of itself to the downside. I don't see any great support here. I mean, it had some consolidation in this area, but 4 sessions ago, this was almost $50. And now it hit 36.15 today for bouncing about $1. So, that one's starting to get that downside shape we look for. That one goes on bounce watch. I don't know what this is an old line on there, so ignore that. And then some long watches, INVT. This one's had really big spike here, big spike here, big spike here, and then a couple days of support even when the market was really weak, and got an afternoon pop today. If you look at the close, the whole move happened 20 minutes into the close. I'm going to look for a continuation. It's got nice support below now in that $1.50 area. And as you can see, that one really moves at times. So that's a nice one to watch, INVT. And then you've got BSI, biggest volume I see. I mean, I'm going all the way back here. I don't know how many years, 2008, 2009. Today, far and away the biggest volume you see on it. And it's got a stupid low float, so it can really move at times. And look for a red to green or something like that in that one tomorrow. There's the intraday. It actually got halted on this move, and then it got halted and then came back down and then chopped around the rest of the day. But it got halted on a circuit breaker as it was moving up. So this one's interesting. With that tiny float, what did like this high here? 519. This high was 515. So I would say in the low 520s, this one might retake yesterday's high. So keep your eyes on BSI. That one's interesting to me. GSI seems to have found support at the 20-day and had a nice little pop today. And I really like it over this 3-day high, I guess you call it. Today's high was $1.95. A few days ago, it popped to $1.93. Let me go to 15-minute candles and just show you. I think we called it over 2 on this day, and it went all the way to 252. So this thing, and then you've got a lower high, and then today kind of broke a recent lower high and then sideways. So this one has room to run, and it can really move too when it gets going. Had this run, 4 or 5 day run here that it went all the way from 50 cents to 491. And so now this one, again, kind of like some of these others I've shown you, might get a nice pop. Speaking of recent high flyers, LEI. Had this move from whatever it was to almost 1050 and a nice pop today, maybe with oil bouncing and kind of flagging here. I sure like this one if it gets up maybe through 5 again, or red to green, something like that. So keep LEI on watch. It's kind of a squinky trader with can get spready at times, but it can also move like crazy, so I want to keep that on watch. And then lastly, and a lot of charts look the same, so I don't have a big list today, but lastly, MRO. I believe that's a refiner. The refiners are bouncing, and this one's kind of lagging. Massive volume today in a pretty narrow range and a nice green close. So over today's high, over 924. Might just continue that bounce, maybe head up to 10. Who knows? But I like that one too. Hopefully we'll find some gappers in the morning as well. I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great night.